Hey YouTube, this is Tom at TM Aquatics, and I hope everyone's doing great. It's pretty early in the day. FedEx was just here dropping off an overnight package, and that could only mean one thing. We've got some new fish here in the fish room, and these things are cool. We're going to do an unboxing. Stick around and check this one out. All right, YouTube, here's the box of fish here. There should be 10 of them inside of this, and I'll reveal what the fish species is. Once we get into the box, this thing is taped up rather well, so it's gonna require both my hands. So I'm gonna set down the cell phone as I cut into this box, and then we will take a look at the fish, do a wellness check to make sure they're doing okay, and then I'll tell you what the species is. We'll get them floated, acclimated, and released into a new tank. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and dig into this box, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, YouTube, we have the fish out of the box. We have 5 bags total. We ordered and paid for 10 and received 11. All 11 are healthy, active, and doing great. Now, these fish came from a seller that I've never done business with before. I stumbled across them on Aquabid, and then found out they had a Facebook page and a website that they sell fish from. The company name is called First Coast Tropical Fish. So when time allows, check out First Coast Tropical Fish on Facebook. Maybe stop by their website, see if they have anything that interests you. It was an easy transaction, good communication, good price, fast shipping. Can't complain. So check them out. Now this fish here, these guys are the Scleromystax barbatus. Again, they're only about 1 inch in size, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch, but I knew that when I bought them. They'll eventually grow to about 3.5 to 4 inches in length. The Scleromystax barbatus. Now they are in the Clichthiidae family, just like all your other Corydoras type catfish. Sometimes these are actually referred to as the banded cory, the bearded cory, the checkerboard cory. But those that know and those that are into catfish know and call them what they really are, and that is Scleromystax barbatus. Now again, these guys get a little bit larger, again in that 3.5, 3 3/4, maybe closer to 4 inches sometimes, but they get a little bit larger than your other cories. They do prefer cooler temperatures. They're going to be quite fine in temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Just like all your other Corydoras type catfish, they're going to prefer a sandy substrate so they can root around and dig around in the sand for food particles and little bits and pieces to eat. But this is a fish that I've been wanting to add here for quite a while. Had an opportunity to buy them at Cataclysm last fall, and then had a chance earlier this past winter, spring, down at the Quad City Fish Swamp to pick some up, and I didn't. But now we have them, the Scleromystax barbatus. But what we need to do now is I need to get them acclimated. I'm not quite sure where their permanent home here in the fish room is going to be, since most of my temperatures just naturally hover at about 74 to 75 degrees without a heater. I want to keep these guys around 72 to 73, so I'm going to try and figure out where their future permanent home is going to go. But for now, I need to get them floated and acclimated into a quarantine tank where they're going to spend at least a month, and then we'll have plenty of time to figure out where their permanent home is going to be, or which tank that's going to be here in the fish room. But really excited to have these guys, the Scleromystax barbatus. So anyways, we're going to get them into a quarantine tank, get them emptied and acclimated, and then we'll circle back with some new video, hopefully with some better pictures of the actual fish so you can actually see what they look like outside of the bag, that is. So anyways, bear with me. I'll be back in just a second. All right, YouTube, it is actually the next morning. I gave these guys the night to kind of acclimate to their new surroundings and the tank parameters, and they all seem to be doing great. All 11 are very active and have adjusted without any problem at all. In fact, I gave them their first feeding this morning, and they've been nibbling on that food here a little bit. And what they're feeding on is Repashy grub pie, and what I like to do with the when I feed the Corydoras is I will rehydrate freeze-dried tubulifix worms, and I will mix that into the Repashy grub pie and replace one of the portions of water in lieu of the rehydrated tubulifix worms. And the Corydoras just devour that stuff and just really like feeding on that food. So that's what these guys are have been munching on this morning. Now this is a bare bottom tank. Again, there's some floaters in here to kind of diffuse the light, kind of help them lower their stress a little bit. I did toss in some Java moss as well, just to give them something to hide in or hide under, again, just to reduce any stress levels. But they all seem to be doing very well, and I am super excited to have these fish here in the fish room. Now earlier in the video I said these guys are going to be quite comfortable in mid or upper 60s to low 70s. They can actually handle temperatures quite lower than that. They come from the coastal regions down in Brazil around the Rio area and can handle temperatures down around 60 degrees. But let's be honest, there's not too many fish keepers or hobbyists that keep tanks around 60 degrees, which is why I was mentioning mid or upper 60s to low 70s. Again, they can handle temperatures down around that 60 degrees, and I'll do a text correction in the video, and you probably already saw that. But in any case, I don't have a heater in this tank right now. I took the temp. It's around 72, 73 degrees, which is about 1 or 2 degrees lower than ambient air temperature right now here in the fish room. But I am super excited to add these Barbatus to my fish room. Now, again, these guys are going to get around 3.5, maybe 3 3/4 inches. I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait for them to put on some size and grow out. Not sure which tank they're going to end up in. We're going to have to put them in a 4-foot tank just because the size they reach. I think a 4-foot tank would be desirable and in their best interest. So that's what we're going to try and accommodate with. And eventually, it will be our goal to try and spawn and reproduce these guys. But the Scleromystax Barbatus, the newest addition here at TM Aquatics, and we're really excited about it. All right, YouTube, well, I am super excited to have the Scleromystax Barbatus here in the fish room at TM Aquatics, and I'm equally excited to take you along on this journey as we grow them out and eventually breed these fish. Now, I do want to mention I'm going to have a couple of new videos coming out here in the very near future, so be sure to check back, or better yet, hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. One of those videos is going to be an update on a couple of the breeding projects here at TM Aquatics. We have a fry box full of honeycomb catfish fry. We just pulled about a dozen fry from the red coral pencilfish. And right now at this moment, we have active trappings with the L260 Plecos, the L134s, and the L397s. So fingers are crossed. The other video, I'm going to introduce you to some of the foods that I choose to feed here at TM Aquatics. And I assure you, most of these foods are foods you've never heard of, seen, or used before. It's not Northfin, it's not Sarah Onip tabs, and it's not tetracolored granules. So be sure to watch for those videos, again, in the very near future. Now, like always, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below, hit the like button on your way out. And again, until the next time, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you all later.